Well, hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm back. I hope you guys are doing fantastic out there. In this video today, if you're a big fan of the Osight S, but you don't have the RMR footprint on your pistol, but maybe you have the RMSC footprint, then I'd highly suggest that you take a look at the Osight S, and that's what we're going to talk about in this video here today. So here we're taking a look at the Osight X and the Osight S, and just to reiterate, the RMR footprint is for the Osight X and the RMSC footprint is for the Osight S. Even though these optics look very similar, there are some differences, and I'll be talking about that in today's video, where we're going to talk all about the Osight S. Now, as we look at the front of the package here, you can see that there are patents pending on this product. And the reticle, you can change between a 2 MOA dot right there in the center. You can go to a 3-2 MOA circle, or you can do both of them in combination with one another. Now, if we look at the side of the package of this Osight S, this right here is very cool. This product has a lifetime warranty. Here is a QR code that will take you to osight.com, where you can take a look at the website. Here's a look at the other ends of the package. And then, of course, on the back of the package, you can see some contact information for Osight. And without further ado, let's go ahead and set this down, open it up, because I'm very excited to share this with you. Now, as you can see, the package opens up very nice. It's a very clean package, and I just love the way they lay everything out. We're proud to introduce the industry's first optic made from OAL material, featuring a magnetic charging cover and backed by a lifetime warranty. At our core, we listen to our customers and continuously innovate. Osight, see the power. And then right there, you can see the website osight.com. Then right here, it says, thank you for being a part of the Osight family. Your support is the reason we are here. Enjoy, Osight team. Now on the left of the packaging, you have 3 little boxes. I'll just go ahead and take them out. We'll definitely talk about all of this in this video today. But right underneath those is the user manual. So as we pull this out, it has a little sticky thing on the back. We'll just slide out the user manual and the safety warning information, and you have all of that information for the product. The next thing that we'll see is this little box. We'll open this up and see what's included in this little box. So we'll pull this out. There's nothing left in the box. We have a small bag that looks like it's made out of ripstop type material. It does have a little Osight tag on it. It's got a drawstring. Very nice little bag, and it looks like it's made of good quality. The next thing that we see with the bag is a little lens cloth to clean the glass on this sight. So I think it's absolutely fantastic that they include this with the Osight S. Now, if we look at the next box, you can see that it has a picture of some screws, and then on the back you can see we have 6.32, M.4, 6.40 or M.3 screws. So if I can get my thumb under that, and the screws pull out just like that. And if we look, we have compartments with each size of screws. So you got 6, 12, 18, 19, 20, 21 screws total, which I think is cool. And again, it's labeled the size that you need in reference to whatever your handgun is. So very cool that they include so many screws, because you only need 2 to put this optic on. So they give you plenty of extras, which is definitely something that's pretty cool to be thankful for. Opening this box, first thing that we see coming out of this box is the lanyard, and it goes kind of back to the older Olight type lanyards where they have the little pin here which helps you feed it through. So I like that, and this is a nice neoprene filling lanyard. It feels really nice in the hand. The next thing that we see is the little tool and the USB charging cable. So we have a tool here. It looks like a little skull there. So this is the part of the tool that you can use to install the optic, and then this part of the tool is the part that you can use to adjust the elevation and the windage of the optic. Now it feels like this end and this end are metal and the tool itself is plastic, but it feels like a very good, durable, well-built tool. We'll set that down, and then of course the charging cable, USB-A to USB-C. So that's all we need to charge the case, and then of course there's nothing left in the box. If we go here, we can now get to the meat and potatoes of this, and that is the optic and the case itself. But before we get to that, let's take a quick look at this README card. So right here it's talking about adjusting for windage, adjusting for elevation. So the windage is on the side of the optic and the elevation is on the top of the optic. And then of course it gives you some basic directions for making those adjustments. And then of course if we look at the back, it tells you how to install the Osight S, what screws that they recommend, and it just gives you some general information. Of course they do have an operation guide video, so feel free to check that with your QR code there. And this is a nice little card that gives you plenty of information for this setup. So the next thing that we see here is the case itself. So this is very nice. It's got USB-C charging ability right there, and then there's some specifications on the back there. Lots of information for you guys. This is a nice looking case. Now right here is where you could install your lanyard if you wanted. And then if you look at the bottom, you can see those three little gold pins. Those are the charging pins that are used to charge the optic itself. And then this little square, there's a little battery inside there that charges, so the case can be charged, and then we use the case to charge the optic. If we push the button on the side, you can see in real time the status of the battery of the case. The next thing that we'll pull out is the actual Osight S optic itself. So there's a look at that. If we rotate it a little bit, you can see that there's glass. Rotate it to the other side. That's what it looks like, and then there's glass on this side as well. And what I really like about the glass on both ends is the optic is sandwiched between those two layers of glass. Now when they did that on the Osight S, they increased the water resistance rating from a 6 to an IPX7 waterproof rating. So now this Osight S can actually go underwater where the Osight X could only handle rain. So nice improvement. Plus there's no chance that anything, dust or dirt or debris or anything's going to get inside the optic, unlike the Osight X, which was an open optic. It had glass only on the front, which would allow access to get to the emitter, and it could be plugged with debris or snow or sand or dust or something like that. Now looking at the bottom, you can see a little bit of information right there. Gives you the input voltage, and it tells you that it's made in China. You have the buttons here. You have a minus button and a plus button, and when you slap this in to the case actually charges the optics. So now when you see this percentage, this is no longer the percentage of the case, but rather the percentage of the battery that's in the optic. Now when you plug this into USB-C and you have a cord plugged in, it's going to tell you the status of the case, not the optic. So if I pull this out and push the button again, it's telling us the status of the battery in the case. So let's not get that too confused. The optic now is what we're looking at. So it's very self-explanatory, very easy to understand. I love that it gives you this information in real time. It stays lit up for about 5 seconds, and I'm just so excited about this Osight S. So let's go ahead and plug in the USB-C cable, and as you can see, we have a flashing battery indicator. It is going to charge the whole thing. It's going to charge the case and the optic, and there's no problem doing that. You can charge them both simultaneously. They're actually designed to fit together and work like that. Now, when we talk about the window size of this Osight S, that is 0.83 inches by 0.55 inches. So it's a little bit smaller window than what you could find on the Osight X. That window on the Osight X was 0.94 inches by 0.85 inches. So this one's a little bit smaller, and it's specifically designed for those compact handguns. And at the time that I'm filming this video, the current price point, MSRP, of the Osight S is $249.99. This magnetic cover that you're looking at is the industry's first magnetic charging cover. Now, what's crazy about that is if you look at Glock, for example, they have an optic that will last 5 years, but after 5 years, you have to recharge or replace your battery. They don't have this cool magnetic charging. Osight S boasts pioneering magnetic charging cover, and that features a battery display that reveals the real-time battery levels for both the cover and the optic. All you have to do is push that little button. It's super, super easy. Now, earlier I talked about the material that is made out of OAL. This is the same material that the Arcfeld Ultra is made of, and it's a proprietary material that Olight has come up with. The OAL housing is tougher, stronger, and nearly as lightweight as the industry standard 7075 aluminum, and this ensures long-time durability. You can really get a professional edge over time with this material. The RMSC footprint is a very common footprint that you'll find on subcompacts, and it fits directly onto your optic-ready slides. This compact optic delivers exceptional compatibility, ensuring seamless integration across the multiple of builds. So lots of different handguns that you can put this on. And like I mentioned earlier, we have the emitter sandwiched between two pieces of glass. This is designed in a fully sealed system. The optic offers unmatched protection against environmental elements. So this lens ensures that zero distortion and parallax-free performance because it's an aspherical lens. This delivers exceptional clarity through a large window for rapid and precise target acquisition. The Osight S is a compact yet powerful enclosed optic designed for concealed carry and tactical applications, enhancing your accuracy and confidence in every moment. An ultra-low deck height for co-witness with most factory iron sights. Now, I believe charging is complete. We can push the button and you can see that this battery indicator is no longer flashing. So that's telling us that everything is fully charged. Now for the video today, we're going to go ahead and mount it using this tool to this Springfield Hellcat Pro. So let's just make sure that we're empty, which we are, and we're going to find these two screws on the top here, and we're going to just remove those two screws. It's very, very simple. Nothing hard about it. Just loosen these two screws to take this cover plate off, and then we can install our optic. There's nothing hard about it at all. There we go. So now we can take the cover plate off, locate our two screws, and now we'll take the Osight S, we'll just stick it right there, and you can see that those two larger holes is what's going to hold this thing on. The screws that I found that fit the best are these M.4s. And as you can see, the screws already have Loctite on them, so you don't even have to worry about that. You just tighten them down, and then your optic will be installed. It's very, very simple. As you could see, it takes no time, and now you have an optic ready handgun, and that looks fantastic on there. Now, one of the things that I really like is even with the Optic installed, you can still utilize the iron sights. So as we look at this charge cover, the dimensions are 1.67 inches long, it's 1.48 inches wide, and it's 1.18 inches tall. And if we want to look at those measurements in millimeters, it's 42.5 millimeters long, 30 millimeters tall, and 37.5 millimeters wide. The weight of this is 33 grams or 1.16 ounces, and the battery capacity of this is 220 milliamp hour, and that's a 3.87 volt battery, so you get 0.85 watt hours out of this battery. Now the DC voltage is 5 volts at 2 amps coming into there, and the DC voltage output when we charge the Optic is 4.45 volts. Now the time that it takes to fully charge this cover is about 1.5 hours. And of course, looking at the Optic, it is 1.59 inches long, and that's all the way to the rear here. It is 0.98 inches wide and 0.97 inches tall. Again, if we want to do that in millimeters, it is 40.5 millimeters long, 25 millimeters wide, and 24.5 millimeters tall. The weight, including this battery, is 0.97 ounces or 27.5 grams, and the battery that's installed inside of this Optic is a 46 milliamp hour 3.87 volt battery, and that's 0.178 watt hours of performance. Now this Optic is IPX7, like I said, and it does have an impact resistance rating of 1 meter. Now if you're going to use the dot as your reticle, you will get 21,900 hours of runtime. Now if you're going to use the circle or the circle with the dot, it lowers you down to about 20,000 hours, and that's around 2.2 something years of runtime. So that is wonderful. It's a nice Optic, and the cool thing is when it's mounted on your handgun, you can slap the case on very easily and go right into charging. You don't have to wait or anything like that. And the cool thing about this is you can charge this on the way to the range, and you don't even need the Optic with you. You can charge this in your vehicle. You don't have to worry about it because your handgun can be stored in a lockbox or whatever while you're driving down the road, and then when you get out to the safe place, you can just slap this on and give it a boost if it needs it. So it's a wonderful setup, very, very easy to understand, very easy to operate. So if you want to turn the Optic on, it's very simple. Just push a button, and then let's try to find that red dot. You can barely see it above that front tritium sight there. You can see the little red dot there. That is fantastic. If you want to manually turn off the sight, just push both buttons for half a second, and it will turn the Optic off. Now, if you want to turn on or off the shake to wake function, you'll locate the minus button. You're going to push and hold for 3 seconds. And if you get one acknowledgement flash, that means that it's turned on. And if you get 2 acknowledgement flashes, it means shake to wake is turned off. Now, if you locate the positive button and you push and hold that for 3 seconds, you can switch the modes from automatic sensing mode or manual mode. And what that does, if you're on automatic, it will check the daylight around you and it will adjust the brightness of the Optic according to the ambient light. Now if you want it in manual, then you can increase and decrease the brightness of the Optic by positive or negative. So right now you can see the Optic there in the window. If I push and hold the positive button, you see 2 acknowledgement flashes. and then the Optic turned off. Now it's in automatic, so it thinks that that's the brightness that we need. But if we want to go back to manual, we'll just push and hold for another 3 seconds, and we'll see one acknowledgement flash. Now you can go bright or dim based on how you push the positive or the minus button. So I like it in manual for this compact pistol. I'm going to leave it on fairly bright, about halfway. Okay, right now you can see the dot reticle. If you want to change that to a circle, we'll locate the minus button and we'll push and hold that for 3 seconds, and you'll see the reticle change. Now you have a circle. If you want to change it again to get the circle with the dot inside of it, just push and hold the minus button for 3 more seconds, and you'll notice that it changes. So now you have the reticle that has the dot inside of the circle. Now if you want to go back to the dot, just push and hold for 3 additional seconds, and you'll see that it goes back to the dot. Okay, right now we're going to look between the positive and negative buttons, and we're going to push this, and if you notice there's a little green indicator there that lit up for a few seconds. That is your power level indicator. So green is telling us that our battery life is between 50% and 100%. Now it only stays lit for a few seconds, and it's a little bit difficult to see. Now in the event that you see that turn yellow, then it's telling you that your battery life is between 50 and 20%. And if you see red there, then you're between 20 and 10%. And in the event that you see a flashing red power level indicator, that's telling you that your battery life is below 10%. So I think that this is very nice. It's a good feature to have on the Osight S because it tells you in real time the status of your battery. Now I do wish that it would stay illuminated longer than 3 seconds. Maybe if it was just on, I don't know, 10 seconds or something, that would be pretty cool. So one of the things that I like about having an Optic on the firearm is you can actually use the Optic to rack the slide. So maybe you're in a combative situation and you only have one hand, you can use this against a table or against a wall or a door or something to rack around and get your firearm where it's ready to function. That's a good feature. Well folks, that's about all I have for you today on this video, taking a look at the Osight S. I really like this. I want to say thank you to Osight for sending this out for review. If you guys are interested in this, I'll highly recommend getting it. It's awesome. I love the fact that it's IPX7, so it can actually go underwater in an emergency. Now that doesn't include the cover, of course. That is just the Optic that has that IPX7 rating. But this thing is just groundbreaking, the technology that they're putting into this. Again, if you're interested in this, I'll put a link down below. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to thumb up and share this video. And until next time, have a beautiful day. We'll see you on the next one. Bye for now, everybody.